Hello there. This is a video introducing a really great booking system that we include with a complimentary business license for this system, which is called WP Booking System. Full support and documentation can be found on their actual website. So we include this. It's not our system, but we do know our way around it quite well. So initially, if you have any questions, we'd probably know the answers to it. So we always recommend you ask us any queries, and we can normally help you out very quickly. So to get started, how the booking system works, there's a calendar for your property, and that connects to a booking form, and the booking form contains all the sort of rules and requirements within it. So to start off with, let's have a look at the calendars. So you'll see that when you're in the booking system area, and you can see you're in that area WP Booking System, which actually conveniently links through to their site where their documentation is. This dashboard is really handy because if you had upcoming bookings, it would show you ongoing bookings, recent departures, etc. It's really good. But as you can see, we've got one calendar. This is our example demo site. So we've only got the one property on here with one calendar. We've got the one booking form. You can see there's 0 bookings. We haven't set up any discounts or coupons, etc. But let's click to the calendar. And it looks really similar to another calendar that lots of owners use online. It's called WP Simple Calendar. It's basically using a very similar looking layout, but it has an extra section up here for the bookings. So as you'll be able to see, if there was any pending bookings, they'd show here, any accepted, any deleted, etc., etc. So the first thing I would recommend owners do when setting up the calendar for their property is to set a default price for the property. So for this example, I've put in a price of £100 just to make it easy for us to show you front end, etc. The beauty of putting in your default daily price, and that has to be your most expensive price for the year, is that if you forget to add that price anywhere on your calendar, then that default price will swing into play. Whereas if you don't have that default price, it won't allow a booking to take place for that date. So it's always good just to have the default daily price in there. Another handy place to know is the iCal import and export area. Once your website's live and you want to export your calendar from your website to a third party, e.g. Airbnb or Booking.com, you would use this calendar link here to bring your block dates from your website into your third party calendar. If you're importing from Airbnb, then you just type in Airbnb here under the calendar name, pop in the URL that's provided by your Airbnb account, select booked, and then tick yes, use split days, and that will allow this to appear. Select changeover 1 and changeover 2 for this split day 1, split day 2. Very important to do that because obviously that allows people to know that on changeover 2 they can arrive on that day. So if we go back to the calendar now, you'll see that we've got various options here for each date: booked, changeover 1 and changeover 2. So if you manually took a booking over the phone, for example, you might just want to go and add a block off your calendar manually like this. So you just call it changeover 1, booked, 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 and then changeover 2, for example. And you might want to put in the booker's name here, etc. But typically, what I would recommend you do is if you're just editing for booking's sake, then that is the quickest way of doing it. That's absolutely fine. Or you can use your third-party Airbnb calendar if you know if as they sync with each other. You can do that if you just want to block off a booking. But typically, what you'll be doing in here is adding your daily rates for different seasons. So the quickest way of doing that is, let's imagine that in October, bear in mind if I'm saying that my highest price is £100 a night, October being half of it is quite not very busy, we would probably select the 1st of October to, let's say, the 12th of October, and you could put down a price of, say, £70. Click bulk edit, and you'll see that £70 is in darker writing over here, whereas the £100 default price is in a very, very pale greyed out colour. Then you might say, well, the rest of October is half term, so I'm going to go with making that 120, for example. And then you can bulk edit that. And then, oops, the reason that's done that is purely because I should have come out of that field. It should be 120 like that. Then I should have clicked out of it, bulk edit. But instead, because I sort of used my mouse to scroll down, it took down some of the integers there. So as you can see, it's very simple to bulk edit, basically for pricing. And so you can do, obviously the whole year, as I said, is easier just to set the default price, but for different periods where you might want cheaper, you can just do it like that. Also, if you had, imagine you weren't using any third-party booking system like Airbnb, then you might want to bulk edit your calendar like so. And then you can see that you can bulk edit a date range very quickly. So, if you imagine your whole summer's booked out, you can book from the 1st of June to the end of September very quickly and just show it as blocked off. So that's that. What I always would recommend, that when you're manually adding a booking, is that you always use changeover 1 at the start, and at the very end of your block date, change it to changeover 2, so people are aware that that's a bookable date. With everything, once you've done any changes to prices or availability, you need to click Save Changes, otherwise it won't save. So then if we go to the front end now and have a look at the booking system very quickly, we can see that those dates have been blocked off like so. Now, because I've got a default price, I can show you by clicking and selecting some dates how it's now showing that 3 nights is £300, etc. And you might notice that there's a deposit and final payment allowed to be. It shows the deposit, etc., etc. There's various settings inside the system where you can say that if it's, say, 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks of date of arrival, that the full amount is taken, or you don't need to request a deposit at all. Although if it is over 6 weeks, we thoroughly recommend that you do allow them to pay just the deposit. Then you can see down here that the booking system form currently asks for the booker's name, first name, last name, email address, phone number, address, etc. Booking details, number of adults, number of children. If you're dog friendly, we'll include this field, bringing pets, no pets, 1 dog, 2 dogs, etc. You might notice that when we select 1 dog, it adds on £30. Obviously, that can be amended to whatever you charge. It could be a nightly rate, or it can be a per stay date amount, so whichever you prefer. There's so many things that this booking system can do. It's really versatile. So how do you get to that booking form to set those details? I'll show you. It's all done via the booking form. So you go to Forms in the booking system area. There's one form set up by us, booking form, and you can see here are all the fields that we've currently set. So it is quite straightforward, but we normally recommend that you ask us to help you with any amendments to this section, or if you do make changes, that you test it thoroughly. Then you've got these form options here, and you can see that this general option says that the submit button says book, that's fine. Autofill event description, so the lead booker's name will then be used as the autofill description on your calendar, which is great, obviously only visible to you. Default booking status accepted, that can be changed to pending. So what happens if you change it to pending? If you change it to pending, then you need to go and accept that booking, and then once you accept it, it can capture the deposit or the full amount, whichever. There's also very handy email notifications that can be sent at various triggers. So first of all, when someone does book via your site, you will get a new booking notification. If we click on edit email, we'll show you what it looks like. So when we set up your site, we will change that to your email address, change it to from your website, and fill in the various bits and pieces, and then it will allow you to it'll have a link on there to go in and look at the booking in your dashboard. Likewise, when the when the booking takes place, there's another email that goes to the booker, so like so. And as you can see, it's got it's going to go to the recipient's email address, which is field 3 from the booking form. We would put your name there, the address from that it goes from, replying to, which would be your email address, and then as you can see, it's got all the details here, and we'll also add your details, your website details, i.e. your name and contact details will go there as well. There's other emails that can be activated at certain times. So add new email notification, and you can see the different different options there are. But you can also create your own one. So let's say, imagine you wanted to send an email to a booker after 3 days after their booking ends. So this is very useful for request reviews or feedback. It would be more apt, should I say. So you're using a blank template, and then you're going to click add, and then you can build your template very easily here. Obviously that's the email subject, etc., etc. So this is a bit fiddly, and again, we can do this for you. It's would probably be recommended, but likewise, do have a go, because it's quite a fun job to do. But you'd probably put here, how was your stay, for example, and then you put dear, and then their first name. So you click on the field you want to add, and then paste it in like so. We hope you had a great stay. Da 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 da. And then you ask them to leave feedback, either using the feedback system on the site, or you could send them to an external feedback system should you wish to. But the great thing about that is, what you need to do, very important, is when to send. So after the booking starts, and then you can choose like 3 days, like so. And then click save. And then you'll see that when we go back to all emails, that we've got the request feedback one. I'm going to turn that off because obviously that's not finished. That's not really ready to go. But there you go. It's very, very, very easy to add as many email notifications as you like, and the trigger can be set for lots and lots of different things. Booking restrictions is another really important thing. So we set 2 days as a minimum stay as standard, because it's better to have something in there than not. Maximum 31 days. You can choose a minimum stay based on a start day. You can enforce specific changeover start days. So most people, if they are going to go for short breaks, they allow for things like Monday or Friday, so that someone can arrive on a Monday and stay till, say, any length of stay really, or they can start on a Friday or a Saturday, and then again choose the number of days they want. So advanced reservation means how many days in advance can there be. But like, imagine you are available today, your cottage was available. Would you want someone to be able to book and arrive today? So if you don't want that to be the case, then you should allow like a minimum of 1 day. So if your cottage was available today and tomorrow, but you didn't want them to arrive today, you wanted them to, the earliest would be tomorrow, then you'd say 1 day minimum advance reservation. Turnaround time, again, if you need a full day in between changeovers, you would add that there. And then click save, and that's that. So what else is there? That pretty much covers that. There's lots more about the system that you can read up about on their documentation. There's discounts that you can offer, so coupons as well. So very useful for sending out to returning guests to give them a coupon code and that's really good. And give it an expiration date, so 6 weeks expiry date, for example. There's probably much more that I need to mention to you, but essentially, you need to get your rates added and your booking form as you want it before you can sort of carry on, and then you do need to have some sort of payment system. So we recommend, if you want people to pay by card, Stripe is the best one to use. It's like PayPal, but better, because with PayPal, people can pay by card, but lots of people don't know how to. Stripe is like a cheaper version than that. I think it's only about 1.6% for each transaction fee, unless they're unless they're American, I think. So then it's over 3%, I believe, but you'd have to check. So you set up with Stripe, for example. In order to connect your Stripe to your booking system, you'd need to enable Stripe. You would then I recommend that the description should actually say pay via debit or credit card using Stripe, because lots of people who are booking won't have heard of Stripe, and you don't really need a description there. Actually, what I might do is put this there and take off that. Right, and then what you can do is, if you see any others on here that you'd like, we can activate those for you. But so that's that. Let's click Save Settings, and then you do need to go to your get your API keys for your Stripe. Once you've got a Stripe account, you'll probably have done this before if you've used it before. But there's a guide here which does give you very good step-by-step instructions. But basically, you just need your live publishable key and your live secret key. And then when you have those, click Save Settings, and then Save Settings again, and then that will go. That will then appear as an option for people to book. I think that pretty much covers it. Obviously, once your site goes live and your booking system's active, we will then register your website with the license that we provide for you. And if you have any queries, you just need to ask us. And if we need to actually contact the booking system on your behalf, then we will need to do that because it's under our main account. But other than that, they've got full documentation on your site, which is visible to you. So you'll be able to, in most cases, get the answer to whatever you need via that method. Hope that all makes sense. Let me know if you have any queries. Bye for now.